Hello and welcome to Beyond the Stage, the Pablo Center's podcast, where we talk about everything happening at the Pablo Center, both on our stages and off our stages. My name is Kathy Wright, and I'm the Director of Talent and Booking here at Pablo Center in Eau Claire. And excited to sit down today with our Director of Special Events and Sales, Megan Ginder. Hi, Megan.
Hi.
So Megan is a huge part of what we do at Pablo, and I think she handles things that people really don't know that we do here. So first, Megan, tell us a little bit about you and how you ended up at Pablo, because your journey here is interesting.
Yeah. So I was born and raised here in Eau Claire, and I left just before Pablo Center started to be built. I left in 2015, and I went up to Alaska. So I was just kind of wanting a change, looking for something different. I had dabbled in the hospitality world down here, and I kind of chased that up to Alaska where all the tourists were. And that's when I really kind of got my start and my feel for like creating guest experiences and memories, working in tourism up there. And then working for the largest convention center in Alaska is kind of where I found like my passion for doing special events and creating really memorable things for people.
And then you decided to come home.
Yeah, and then I moved home. I had my first son, and we moved home in 2023. I drug my Alaska husband down here, and we've been here since 2023. Started at Pablo in February of 2024 because I myself didn't even realize that special events could happen in this building, and so I was excited to learn about that and take on that job here.
So what does your special man friend do with all of this like light?
Yeah, all the light and all the seasons. Yeah, it's pretty much like 8 months of winter in Alaska, and then we have 4 months of summer. So for him to experience 4 seasons and like a whole lot of snow, it's been a change, but he likes it a lot better down here.
I love it. And you guys are constantly chasing your little 4-year-old around, and your husband is in hospitality as well. So it just kind of lives in your home, and I love it. So Megan, you have this incredible job here, and honestly, it wasn't something I even thought about when I came. I think when people hear Pablo Center, they think about our stages and our performances, but the ability to produce and create special events here is really awesome. And I use the word special event, but tell us, what does it actually mean?
Yeah, so it's really anything that you want it to be. We have private events, special events, we have public events, but essentially we have so many different rooms in this building. Like when I first started, I was like, oh, special events for sure, you can do it at the theaters, right? And then when I was interviewing, they were like, well, we have 3 other rooms downstairs. We have 3 rooms upstairs. And I was like, wait, there's more rooms in this building.
I just found a room the other day. I'm like, what room am I in? I didn't even know it existed. I had no idea.
Right? They're gorgeous spaces. I think my favorite thing about them is that almost every special event space that we offer, any space in this room or in this building, overlooks a gorgeous view of the river, the confluence of the rivers. And so the backdrop for your special events are also really gorgeous. And you just get to be in this phenomenal space supporting our mission, which I think is like the cherry on top of it all. But yeah, you can come in here and have meetings, you can have networking receptions, you can have employee client appreciation parties. I feel like I've done it all in the like 2.5, 3 years that I've been here. Things that I never thought could be booked here did get booked here, and we executed it flawlessly, and it was great. And we have so many returning clients that I think that's really a testament to what we do here for people when they do come and book here.
So take us through the spaces in Pablo Center, because I think, like we said, we're all very familiar with the RCU Theater. Like that's the one we all know, and some know the Jamf Theater. But something unique about the Jamf Theater is it's a black box, so it really is an empty room. Maybe people don't even notice that because they've been to a show there and they see the chairs and they see the staging. But the Jamf really it's a black box because you can create
essentially whatever you want. Yeah, and I think when people come into the shows, they don't realize all of the proscenium seats that they're seating on to watch the show, those all retract like high school bleachers that hide behind a curtain that you couldn't even think all those chairs fit in the little space that they go in, but they do. And it essentially is almost 4,500 square feet of open space to do whatever you want in there. So we'll have a lot of people come in there. We do a lot of galas and fundraisers in there with bands. I've had illusionists and magicians in there for people's events. We do wedding receptions in there.
Quinceañera.
We did a quinceañera. We've actually done multiple, and that was super fun. But yeah, it's such a large space that like whatever you could kind of dream to happen in there, we can work with our team to make that happen. And it's a super versatile space. I really like that one.
Yeah, I mean it's built to be completely flexible to do with whatever you want. And it is built for theater. So the lighting that's built into organically built in the room, the AV, the technology, everything that organically lives in that room is state of the art and incredible.
Right. And that's what makes I feel like our space a little bit more unique from other spaces in town is that we already have all of that state-of-the-art AV built in, and we have a team that is so educated and so knowledgeable and can run everything to a T. Like, you give us your idea lighting-wise, performance-wise, who you're going to book, what you want in there, and we will take care of the rest, and we'll make it happen. We'll make it look great. We'll make it sound great. Like, being able to offer people those different options and customizable lighting packages, like it's really fun to be able to offer that and know that I got a really great team behind me to execute it.
I think something that I always love is, we talk a little bit about lighting, and, I've been to places where like, oh, those lights are pretty, but, our director of lighting has a master's in lighting. And so you just kind of give him a little nudge, and he's in that room creating things with lights that we didn't even know were possible, and using all the different colors and how they, you can put an uplight under anything, but what they can do with, understanding how light moves through rooms and reflects off walls and things that they're, formally trained in. That's my favorite part. I'm like, what did they do with the lighting?
Right. And he loves to run with it too. Like, we just had the Special Olympics send off here, and the lighting was very basic. We had the lights up, and Chris was like, do you want anything else in the room? Like, anything? And I was like, I'm not really sure, but like, feel free to play around. Their logo's up there. Their colors are out in the lobby. Like, feel free to do whatever you want to do. And he put their colors, he like washed the wall with the pink and blue colors they had. They had their logos on the sides. Like, there were just different colors all over the room. And when I walked back in, I was like, this is phenomenal. Like, I just gave you it. It is your oyster. Do what you would like. And he does it, and it's phenomenal. He's done that for our annual fundraiser last year.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
The lighting was great, and he was like, I'd really love to step this up just a little bit more. Do you care if I like play around? I was like, go for it. Came back in, it was Caribbean themed, and he had floral, just like gobo overlays all over the entire theater. And it's amazing the things that they can do in there.
I didn't even know you could do those things. So so Jamf really, when you walk in it is a dark black theater. But when you see it come to life, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think what's really neat about that room, and we'll talk about, if you've ever been to Pablo Center, you know how absolutely stunning the lobby is. And I don't think people even think about using the lobby when we aren't having shows or we don't have things happening. You can use the entire lobby for a cocktail reception, for even pre-event. You can do that all out in the lobby if you want. And now you have the ability to even go outside with it.
Yeah. Yep. So we just recently got approved by the city to use the Haymarket Plaza for special events. So we've kind of been getting our toes wet in that with some different yoga sessions. Mayo Clinic was in here for their Women in Leadership conference this year, and they had their after conference like cocktail hour. They did like a partial lobby setup, and then we had the doors open out into the plaza where we had some cocktail tables. We had live music from Jerica, and it's honestly great, like weather permitting, obviously, but people love being out there. People want to go out there all the time with their drinks and listen to music and just enjoy the sunshine. So now that we can expand that, like my brain is now going to, what else can we do out there? Can we do like a wine walk? Can we do wedding ceremonies? Can we, like, what else can we do out there to expand our presence into the plaza? Well, it's exciting.
I love it because I think if you get married here and it's not winter, at least for me, I always dreamed of that beautiful outdoor wedding, which I had, but it monsooned. So it was wet. But the really great thing is if you do want that beautiful outdoor wedding with that backdrop of the river, and you can plan that in the Haymarket Plaza with us. And then if weather says no, we can move you into our riverfront room. We can do it in the lobby. You know, there's so many options that don't require a major shift in what you're doing. Like, it can literally be an audible. 20 minutes before the ceremony, we can be ready for plan A and plan B, which I for someone who got monsooned on, that's important. So going upstairs, my absolute favorite room in this entire place is our Clearwater Recital Hall. And if you've ever been to a show here at Pablo and gotten a cocktail when you were up in the balcony, that is our Clearwater room.
Yes. That space is probably the most coveted special event space in the building. As soon as I send a picture or someone comes in for a tour, they're immediately in love with the space. It's gorgeous. It's got a beautiful view. You're overlooking the rivers and the plaza. And honestly, like, it just sells itself as soon as you walk in. People are like, this is what I want. It's got a built-in bar already in the room. So that's really convenient. And it's like, I don't know how to describe it without like showing you. It is breathtaking when you walk in.
So it's right above the main entrance to Pablo Center. So if you've been here before, there's that beautiful kind of copper overhang that comes out, and that is the Clearwater room. So, you know, it doesn't matter what season it is. In the summer, there's kids in the splash pad. In the winter, the holiday decor is out in the plaza. You can see, I think, 3 of the 4 lighted bridges from that room, and the view is beyond. You know, the AV is built into the room already. You've got the projector, you've got the screen. I mean, all the kind of normal stuff that you would have. But for me, the ability to sit in a room and have to learn all day, but have all that beautiful natural light, and just, you're not locked in the basement of, you know, a hotel somewhere trying to learn, you know, law or whatever it is. It's great. I mean, we've done weddings in there. We've done celebrations of life in there. We just did a really cool event for a friend of Pablo that was a tulips. She wanted to turn that room into a garden.
Yeah, we did a garden party up there, a fundraiser, and so we brought in a whole bunch of fresh florals, some like fake moss and stepping stones, bird fountains. I mean, everything you could think of that was going to be in a garden. Yes, and an actual tree. And we kind of just turned that space into as if you were walking into like a garden Alice in Wonderland type thing. We had a grazing table and past appetizers. Like, it was just super elegant and beautiful. And again, customizable lighting in that space, as well as we've got some state-of-the-art grid racks with lighting in there that Chris can program for different colors and such. So it was nice to be able to match those colors to like the garden party theme as well. And that's why that room works really great for like micro weddings, has been a really big thing lately. So the smaller weddings that we're getting in, you know, they're too small for Jamf. They think it's going to be too big. Clearwater is a really great second choice because you still have the AV, you still have the customizable lights, you've got the gorgeous view, and you can do it all. We've got the wall plates in there for AV, your DJs can plug in, your small acoustic people can plug in. So that, I mean, all of our spaces are versatile like that. And I think that's what makes having a really good special event here is we can do it all in almost every single room.
Well, and I think what is really unique to us, and specifically to you and your skill set with your team, is that we do it for you. You know, the garden party, they brought us a vision, and you and your team sat down and said, how do we create this? And, you know, they had some ideas, and sometimes the ideas were like, well, let's not do that, but let's do this instead. But, you know, your team really does handle everything. I guess the client can be as involved as they want to be, right? If they're like, make me a garden and I want it to even smell like a garden, you're like, got it.
We'll figure out how to do that.
Right. So you can handle everything, because catering is always a big thing when it comes to a lot of special events. So how does Pablo Center work and handle catering?
So when it comes to coordinating the events, you know, I always give the client the option. You know, there's people who come in and they want to handle every single aspect of it. But me and my team, we're happy to do it all. If you just want to book the space, give me your list, your budget, and I will take it from there, and I'll make sure everything is great. I think a perfect example of that, Marshfield Clinic does their provider appreciation events here. They pick their dates and they're like, you just take care of it. Well, we trust you. So from there, you know, once we have everything from the client, then we look into catering options, which I think one of my favorite things about the special events here, which I mean, there's many, but catering, especially, you get so much flexibility and creativity with catering. There's a lot of event centers where they have in-house catering and you have to use that in-house caterer. So if you wanted to match the theme of your event, if you're had like when we had a Moroccan fundraiser or a Caribbean fundraiser, like you get to bring in the food that you want to match your event or the vibe you're going for or whatever. So being able to choose your caterer that you want to go with, I think is a really unique thing that not a lot of places offer.
And we've had different events that have used several caterers. You know, somebody does the desserts, somebody does the appetizers. Chamber of Commerce used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Where we would have 3 different caterers moving through our back kitchen area and working together to create that experience. So,
yeah. Yep. So we've got our list of preferred caterers, you know, are people who have been in the building. They know what they're working with, what is in the catering kitchen, where the spaces are, and that they can confidently execute catering in this building. And I think that's really important to note is I would never recommend somebody that I don't think could execute in this building, because I take on that responsibility for every event, right? I want everything to go flawlessly from booking to catering to the bar, like that all falls on me. So I have a curated list of caterers. If somebody picks someone outside of that list, I touch base with those caterers. I give them a walkthrough. We go through logistics and everything. And then we go from there and curate menus. And yeah, you can have as many as you want, or you can have just one person, but there's no competition in the building. Like they all come together and work together to cater your event, which is super cool.
I know it's kind of fun because there's places that, you're like, we have a banquet here tonight. Are we having the chicken or the pork chops? Because everybody always has the same thing in the same rooms. And so, something that I've really loved is just this, the grazing table. I would rather graze than eat a huge meal. And that's really been fun to see that come about a lot.
Yeah.
And we work with some incredible partners that create some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Like I'm afraid to eat anything off of it because it's so pretty.
Yeah.
And even just the desserts that your team has been able to bring through and, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then even just down to that signature cocktail that we create.
Yeah.
If you want something special or a signature mocktail that, you want your guests to be able to have feature each evening. Like that's awesome stuff. So I'm going to bring up the word everybody hates when we talk about downtown, and that's the P word. And that's parking, but we have more than enough solution for the client for that. So talk to us about where are we going to park?
Right. It's not my favorite. That's always my battle. But there is ample parking in downtown. Obviously, if you're here for a quick event, street parking always works. There's a parking ramp a block away in either direction of the building, and I think those are like 25 cents an hour. 25, 50. It's super.
It costs me more to figure out how to use the app to actually pay for the parking.
So that parking is always available. I have worked with some bigger events that need more parking. I've worked with the city to rent out levels of the parking ramps. So we take care of the signage for that. The city alerts the local police department parking people that we're going to have rented out levels, and so your guests would have a spot to park in the parking ramp without competing with all the public parking. And then we also offer valet here. Obviously, if you've been to a show, you know that, but we utilize valet for special events as well. So you can have the option to have our valet team here and your guests can pay for their valet parking, or you can host and pay one fee to have our valet team here and they park all of your guests' cars under that fee. So and our valet team is like chef's kiss. They are the most wonderful humans, and they're great. They're great at what they do.
They understand the assignment for sure. They definitely make sure everybody gets helped out of the car, in the car. Nobody gets wet. They can't help if it's really cold out, but they run really fast.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, to me, I think valet is our best kept secret is, for a couple $100, you can have valet available for all of your guests, and that's the easiest thing on the planet. You don't have to worry about it at all. So parking actually isn't a problem.
Right. We try to be as creative as possible.
Yeah, you just got to ask the right questions. That's all. We can make it really, really easy for everybody. Shoot, I forgot what I was going to say next. I think the other thing that I love about Pablo, obviously we have walkability to a couple hotels that are right here. But if you're looking at booking a meeting or a conference and just the walkability of downtown, to be able to say, you know what, it's the afternoon, 2 o'clock, instead of, filling you full of cookies and coffee, we're just going to do a 1 mile. We have a beautiful 1 mile loop down the bike path over 2 bridges through Phoenix Park and come back in and we'll finish our meeting. So great walkability. There's walkability after your meeting or whatever you have going on to go down, and maybe you catch somebody over at Two Roots or somebody's playing at Leona's. There's just so much happening down here that makes it a lot of fun. It's not like something's over and, wah, wah, wah. Now what do we do? Here's a list of all the incredible places that you can head out to after if it's a daytime meeting. And, obviously coming from me, the person that programs the theaters, and something I never even thought about until I started working here, is tying whatever you're doing into what we have going on in the theater.
Yeah.
So we had a client last year that wanted to do a thank you to his employees at the end of the season. And so we had comedian Billy Gardell in the RCU theater. So he had dinner for, I think, his 75 staff members up in the Clearwater room. And then they walked right across the hall and they all went and saw Billy Gardell. So it was like having this national comedian at your holiday party.
Right.
So we can always tie you directly into something that we already have happening and package in those tickets. Or if you want to bring someone in for your party, you want to bring in a musical act. Like, the beautiful thing about doing it at Pablo is that we have all of those things are built into our rooms already, be it a string quartet from the university or dueling pianos or, even a national Elvis impersonator. We can put them on our stage, and production is so minimal because A, we have it all already, and B, we have the absolute skilled individuals to be able to make sure that artist gets exactly what they need on the production side.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's really an awesome point about a lot of our bigger events here, is that if you have an idea and you want to bring it in and make it happen for your conference or your client or employee appreciation party, like, we have everything that we need here to make that happen. Yeah, whether big or small, we have so many room sizes.
I love the Man's Green Room. That's one of our new spaces that we just remodeled. And somebody just had a birthday party in there.
We did. We had a 40th birthday disco event in there. They hung a little disco ball from the ceiling, and that was super fun. They had Uncommon Denominator in there playing for them, and it was a hoot. They had a great time. She absolutely loved it. She's like, it's everything I could have dreamed of and more, which made me really happy because Man's is one of the smaller event spaces that we have. But once you get stuff in there and once you get the party going, it's like, it's the perfect space. And you've got the garage doors with the natural light. Like, there's so many things you can do in that space. We've had a couple smaller fundraisers happen in there, and we would open the garage doors and we'd have food trucks that would park in our parking or our loading dock. So instead of catering in food, they just had some food trucks right outside the space. And that was a super cool, unique idea that I had never really thought of until someone brought it up. But again, like, if you have an idea and you think about it, I will figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah,
we will make it happen here.
That room for like a pre-show, right? For a pre-game. So if you have a group even if you have a big group that's coming to one of our shows, like we've got any of our shows, and you're like, we want to do cocktails in there, and we want to have a grazing table, and we can set that room up for you. So you don't need to even think about like, where are we going to get reservations before the show? You can have all of that available for them in the room. And we can do that. And then if it's even on a smaller scale, we have our Founders Lounge, which is up on 3rd floor, which has the most stunning view on the planet. And that's 20 to 30 people maybe in there. So if you have a small group that's coming in, we can do a little reception in there, some hors d'oeuvres, some wine, whatever you'd like in there. And then you head right across the hall into the theater. I love it. It's a place you can throw your coats. You can, put everything in there during intermission, go in, have another refresher, and then back out you go. So many cool places and spaces that are in this building. And so if somebody was just curious, Megan, where do they start?
Well, you can always start by visiting our website. Under the Host an Event tab, you can go into our special events and weddings. It talks about all of our event spaces. There's a link in there to fill out a form if you're interested. It comes directly to me, and I respond within 24 hours to get you the information that you need. And then me and Maya work together to create a really unforgettable experience, whether it's just like a small boardroom meeting or a wedding or a fundraiser. Like, we treat every single event with the same care and the same dedication. So we're just excited to get more people in here and have all the special events here. I would love that.
Exactly. So rethinking how you're using this beautiful facility that we're so lucky to have in Eau Claire.
Yeah, there's so many rooms. There's, I think, 7 or 8 special event rooms or
and if you want
to
record a record while you're here, the recording studio.
Right, we've got that.
Got that too. So anyway, well, Megan, thanks for joining us today. And again, Megan is the Director of Sales and Special Events here at Pablo Center. And she's happy to give you a tour and walk you around and show you all the cool little nooks and crannies. So
Absolutely.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.